How you doing, kiddo?
My dad's parked in the car. He is pissed.
What's the problem? What's he so pissed about?
Found my plane ticket.
You what?
My plane ticket.
Let's back up. What plane ticket?
Look, my dad and I went to the airport the other day. And I was there and I saw this plane ticket just sitting there, so I decided to pick it up.
Ah.
He's gonna try to send me away to military school. What am I supposed to do?
Maybe you want to go. Is that him? Is he coming in here?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Do you want to talk to him?
No.
Well, fine. It doesn't belong to you. This is your time. I'll tell him that he can come back at the end, all right?
All right.
Now, you stay put.
What the hell is going on here? What kind of crap are you feeding my kid?
I'd be happy to talk with you, but I'm not going to talk to you to the end of the session. If you can come back 5, 10 minutes.
Good money for this, okay?
Nothing's going to be helpful if I stop meeting with Jason and talking to you, so I'm not going to do that. I will absolutely see you. I will leave 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the session. And then if that's not enough time, we could talk.
Right.
Right, and then we could talk on the phone.
We need to go over some stuff.
I certainly understand that. Well, you're right. He's wired for sound, man. He is not a happy camper. I told him he could come back about, 5, 6 minutes. I'll give him a little more before the end of the session. I hope you'll stay. You don't have to stay in the room with him. But he's pissed. All right? So? Is he always like that?
Yeah.
Do you ever do anything right?
Not according to him.
Does he ever do anything right?
No. Not according to me.
So the whole ticket thing is just another one of the things that keeps happening between you, huh?
No. He wants to send me away to boarding school, and I...
How do you know that? You may be right, but how do you know?
I don't know. I know. I mean... Look, if he tries any crap, I'm getting out of here. I'm just gonna fly. I'm just gonna get on the plane, and I'm gonna leave. But he went ballistic.
Well, why? Because you stole them?
I don't know.
Well, going ballistic is how he goes.
It's how he is normally.
From what I saw, he looks fairly tight.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, is he always that tight?
Not with my sister.
Not with her?
No.
No, wait a minute. He is clearly a tight ass. You telling me he turns into a not tight ass when she's around?
Well, well, if I'm there and she's there, then he's a tight ass. But if I'm not there, then he's nice to her. Because she's so good.
She does it all right, and you do it all wrong, huh?
Exactly.
Well, you really want to be like her?
No.
I didn't think so. I would not want to be like her either. All right, so you took the ticket. When did you take the ticket? No, I know why he's so pissed. You got to go to the concert.
I had fun, though. I didn't like working for it, though.
What'd you have to do? What did he make you do?
He, like, made me paint the garage floor and, like, do his laundry and stuff like that.
Sounds like you paid your price, but the concert was good?
Yeah. It was good.
All right, look. The deal was this, Chase. Look, I can see what you're doing. All right? It don't take a rocket scientist to figure out who he is or what he's like. Right? But this is him. This is it. This is what you got. Our thing is, how can I help you survive him? And can I make any adjustments on him? Not a lot, I'll tell you that. I mean, I dealt with ones like him before. I can't do a lot. But I can try to give him some cues. But, you know, as I told you, 3 strikes and I'm out. Before we end today, you're going to decide if we can work as a team and deal with him. You know, and if I can be helpful. And I meant what I said. It's your call. So, you got the school issue, right? He's on your tail about that. Is that his thing? I mean, if school were going okay, would that be, you would be like 99% home free?
Yeah, probably. It's like he doesn't like my friends, though.
What's wrong with your friends?
Thinks they're a bad influence on me.
Are they?
I don't know. No.
I assume they're your friends. You like them. Maybe he thinks you're really a good kid under bad influence. Huh? You know, that's a great way that parents always talk, you know. First, they're all over your case, but bottom line, then they say, well, it's really not you, it's the other kid, and if you were away from the other kid, you'd be better. What about Mom? You know, what happens with you and Mom?
I love my mom. She's just... We can't get along because, I don't know, she doesn't want me to do bad stuff, but she can't really stop me.
She's a wimp? She a wimp with you?
Kind of.
So you got tight ass and wimp? That's your story here?
Yep.
So she does loving things for you, nice things, but if you don't want to do something... Right?
I shouldn't have to do it, right?
Well, it depends. I wouldn't let you get away with everything. You wouldn't want me to anyway. Right? All right? So what we got is, if you could get the grades up, that would probably be off your back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You did all that testing, right? So here's what we can look at. We can look at changing the school schedule thing. You know, you can drop Spanish. You do not have to take Spanish. Spanish one that you're failing or doing poorly?
I didn't know yet you could drop it, though.
What do you mean? You didn't know you could drop it?
Well, because, like, on the sheet that we got at school, it says that like a foreign language is, like, required.
Oh, okay, yeah. You gotta have at least 2 years of foreign language.
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't have to take it now. You know? Or we could talk about, you know, a lot of colleges now are, where it used to be like they were so big on foreign language, even though it says, and I could tell you because I talked to a lot of them, is, do you like computers?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of kids who have attention deficit problems, right, really like working with computers. You know, with spell checks, you don't have to worry about spelling, you don't worry about handwriting, right? Your handwriting's terrible, right? Everyone on your case about it?
Yeah.
If you want to focus more on computer stuff, a lot of the schools are fine with that. So we can look at redoing the school, and we can do that. I cannot make it so you never have to do homework. Sorry about that. And you don't do any homework, huh?
What's the point of doing homework?
So you carry this around, what, just to impress that guy? Or make them think you got something else?
School. You gotta have a book bag to go to school, right?
What's the worst thing for you about doing homework?
Takes a lot of time.
Is it hard for you to read the stuff? Or it just takes too long?
It just takes too long.
Well, here's a possibility. Okay, you think about this. If you drop the Spanish, okay, and we get you in the resource room in the second period today where you can work on your homework. So at least you have a chance of getting more of it done. And we could, like, decide which homework you think is more, will help you most to get done.
Yeah.
You know, and we can do that so that you have less to do at home. Do you partly not do it because you'll never do good enough for Dad?
No. It takes too much time and I'm gonna fail anyway, so what's the point of doing it?
Well, we could raise the possibility that after I showed you that test and stuff, remember what we talked about last week? You're going to have to let go of something. You know, the excuse that you're stupid, unfortunately, you're not stupid. So You're not stupid, Chase. You got a problem focusing. You got a problem paying attention. Your handwriting's for shit. You don't like to write. Okay. All that's true. That's real. We can look at some things that'll help you, but you got to decide whether or not you want to spend 4 years battling with him or anyone else. That's a choice you can make. Or we try to pull some things together so you feel better, because I don't think you particularly like everyone on your tail all the time, right? And I will try to deal with Dad about kind of backing off a little. But, you know, that's one of the things we can do. What do you like to do? Put the school stuff aside. That's everyone else's thing on your case. What do you enjoy? What's fun for you?
TV,
Yeah, what do you like? What do you like to like?
like movies and stuff. It's
Do you
fun,
get HBO?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised your dad hasn't decided to, or does he like movies?
He likes movies, but he's not home a lot.
Where is he? Where's he go?
Work?
He works late. So you alone a lot of home?
Yeah.
Is that lonely?
No, sometimes I invite my friends over, you know. It doesn't get that lonely, but it's like...
It's not great, is it? You know, maybe part of what you're feeling is what's the point? You can either grow up and always be working and a tight ass like Dad, right? Or not have any fun. So if I were looking at that, I'm not sure I'd want to go racing around to have such a great time. You know, great grades at school and stuff like that. But you like movies?
Hmm?
You like movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your, like, sci-fi or?
I like horror.
Oh, great. You
Yeah.
like horror movies? Forget me. I could not do horror movies. Do you, like, you can watch them and you never go like, I mean, I'm not a wimp, but I do not like watching stuff that takes me from behind. But you like it?
Yeah. It's fun, exciting.
Listen, is there other things that you want, other things that are important to you? You want people off your back, that off your back. What else is important to you? What do you want that I might be able to help you?
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing, like, better in school, but most of the time it's boring. I mean, we don't really do anything.
You're right.
If we did something like labs in science or something.
Oh, you like the lab stuff?
Yeah, but we don't do that many of them. I mean, if we did more of that, I guess I'd be more interested.
Mm. So you really like when you don't have to sit there and listen to the teacher babbling?
Yeah.
You'd like to be doing something.
Exactly.
Well, maybe some of the computer stuff would be much more interesting to you then. You don't have to sit and listen. You actually can be in the computer lab. Look, I don't do this for you. I'll do it with you. You gotta go, because I don't know exactly what I know a little bit about what your school has, because I've worked with some other kids from your school. You need to talk with the guidance people and see what computer course is available. Don't worry if they're not for 9th graders, okay? Let's just find out what's available. And maybe one of the things we could do is get you more lined up with the computer. You ever done any computer graphic stuff?
No.
You might like that. Where you get to actually design stuff? Art-like stuff? Do you like art at all?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, that might be a possibility. So if we can get you into more computer stuff. Now, you have to take math, right? As a 9th grade, you got to take math. Oh, look at that look. Is it the teacher or the subject?
Everything.
Math does not go well?
No. Not at all.
Right. So math, we won't talk about math right now. We'll put that aside for a second. History?
History is fun, I guess.
History's okay? Is that the one where you were telling me that you're doing small groups and you're doing skits about that? Probably why you're not so pissed off about history right now, right? Science if it's got a lab, and then what about English?
We have this big book to read in a month, and I still haven't even done it.
You haven't started it?
Probably not even gonna read it.
What do you got to read? Do you even know the name of it?
No.
So what, teacher gives quizzes, you get zeros?
Something like that.
Is it a book that you know anything about, or is it one of these obscure things they make you read for English? It's stupid.
One of the stupid English books.
Look, sometimes for kids who have that kind of attention problem that pretty much looks like you have, you know a thing called the library? You know what libraries are?
Never heard of it.
Right, I didn't think so. Anyway, there's one thing that libraries have that you might like, really. And it ain't the books, because I got that message from you. Jason, they often have a lot of these books on tape. Same book. You can put the tape on, walk around your room, hear the first 9 chapters, and maybe not fail the quiz. So that's another thing to think about. If you want to read the books on tape, you absolutely can kind of read the books on tape. All right, so that's another option. So what I'm laying out is stuff we can do. You are smart. You're not just above average, you're really smart. But you're not going to get it the same way a lot of kids get it. Plus, I think you might feel pretty crummy about both when Dad's around and not around. Huh? I think you get a little lonely. I heard you. Yeah, not a lot. And I wouldn't call him warm.
Not kidding.
Is he always like cold like that?
Yep.
You think that's why they got divorced?
I don't want to talk about it.
Message clear. I respect your limits. I will not bring that up. But I am available if you want to talk about it, okay? When Dad comes back here, okay, what would you feel comfortable me telling him?
Tell him I'm a straight-A student.
Yeah? And what is he going to do to me? He's going to look at me like what? Like I lost my mind. Now really, is there anything you want me to say to him or not say to him?
I don't really care.
He's bent out about these airline tickets, right? We better go back to what bent him out of shape, right? Do you want him to know that your real thing is you're afraid that he's going to send you away? Do you want him to know that? Or do you don't want him
If
to
he knows that, it'll look at it as a punishment. And then I'll just do it anyway.
You think that's his goal in life, to punish you? Wow. Doesn't sound like you even think he likes you.
He's an asshole.
Okay, so I got to figure out how to deal with him about this. But, wait a minute, I have to back up a minute. There is no point in my figuring out how to deal with him about this unless there's some things, unless you and I are kind of deciding that we're going to see what we can do about some of these things. So it's your call. You want to come back? I'm happy to have you. Come back. But, you know, what do you want to do? Do you think these are things that might be worth working on?
Mm-hmm.
So?
Also, I don't want to leave my school.
Who's going to make you leave your school?
My mom wants me to leave. She wants me to come live with her and then go to another school so she can take me away from my friends.
Oh, the bad influences. I can't imagine how that would do anything helpful to you.
Neither can I.
So we agree.
Pardon?
We agree, right? Look, one thing is, for whatever reason, Dad or Mom or both of them agreed that you could come here, Jason, okay? The bottom line is, I am really not invested in what either of them want. okay? 99% of the time, parents love their kids. Right? They don't always know how to do it real well, okay? And it often is because they didn't get real good stuff. I don't know the history, and that's not the thing. But as long as I'm in a position where you and I are on the same team, okay, then I will attempt to do what I can to communicate to them what you need that'll work. It's like, this is like a bargain, okay? You decide what minimal things they need so they'll be off your back, okay? You want to not be hassled so much, right? You want Dad to stop constantly telling you basically you're not good enough or a loser, right? Boy, every time I talk about Dad, you look like it'll never happen, huh?
It won't.
Well, it may not. And maybe what you're going to have to decide is that you're going to stop letting Dad decide if you're a winner or a loser. Maybe you're going to have to decide that you're a winner without him. Another possibility. But the bottom line is, I am not focused on them. My focus is on you. I'll do what I can to help them, see what they're willing to do. Okay? But it's between you and I. Seem reasonable? Is there anything else you want to know from me? You know, if we're going to kind of agree to work together, what else would you like to know from me about how this will work? What we'll do?
What are you going to say to my father to convince him to do all this?
You mean, how in the world, what miracle am I going to pull up out of my bag of tricks? I figure somewhere under this tight answer, okay? This guy loves you. He doesn't communicate real well, okay? I figure he at least likes you no, he probably loves you but doesn't like you. Because you're not in his image, right? Are you more like your mom?
No.
No? You just like yourself, huh? It's good, I like that. I'm basically going to let Dad know that if he keeps threatening to send you away, nothing's going to happen. If you keep being, we've got to have a deal. And what I'm going to propose to Dad is we've got the rest of this quarter, which is, what, about 10 weeks to the quarter, till the next report card time and all that, okay? And that you and I are going to work to get your schedule stuff, and you think about between now and next time what we're going to negotiate with Dad. Like if you think, you know, you said the science goes pretty well and all that, okay? You think you want to say, all right, I'll get C's and everything except math. And I know math's real sticky. Maybe we ought to talk about whether staying in the class with that math teacher, given what happened, is ever going to work.
Throwing out, but they won't let me.
Well, that's sometimes where I can help. You know, basically, having a doctor in front of your name is only good for being able to walk up to places sometimes and say, hey, I'm Dr. So-and-so, can we do this? And somehow they clean their ears and they listen a little bit. Now, I can't tell you that they'll do it. But it makes no sense to me, you know, this teacher probably just is looking for you to screw up, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's, I think that's a reasonable request, but you got to think about what the standard things are, right? And then you and I, we can write out a thing, you know, of what you're going to get, you know, what you want to say. Let me make a note here so I don't forget here. Jason, math change, right? You're going to think about the Spanish if you want to dump that and check on the computer courses. Right? And my job, that's your job, my job is to basically say to Dad, he stops threatening to send away, okay? That give us the next 10 weeks, our team here, to see if you can pull things up. And I know, we'll have to offer him something in between because he's so uptight. How about after 5 more times, if you're okay, I'll promise him I'll call him and let him know how things are going. What do you think? I got to give him something. What will I say?
All right.
You know what I mean? I got to offer him something to keep us cool.
All right.
All right? Okay. Now, I promised him like 5 or 6 minutes. All right? You do not have to stay here, but I am no way telling you to leave. What do you think?
I'll stay.
You want to stay? All right. So I'm going to lay out for him, try to cool his jets, all right, and get a little plan going here, okay? All right, kiddo. Hey. Glad we have a deal.
All right.
Mr. Benton.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine. Thanks very much for being willing to wait until the end of our meeting. You know, I'm sure that finding those tickets in Jason's room, you know, his having those, especially after you let
Having
him
them.
go to the concert.
He didn't happen to have them. He stole them. He put me through a great deal of trouble to get the tickets back to the airline. I'm sure the gentleman that lost the tickets or had his tickets stolen, I'm sure he went through a great deal of trouble too. It's also it's a felony. So we're doing it all. It's a felony.
You're looking at Jason like he did this to get you, huh?
I don't get it. You know, I bust my chops, try to do the best I can for the kid.
And it keeps going up, huh? Well, let me try to suggest that clearly taking things that aren't yours is not okay. You know, dummy, you know that. So, I wonder if Jason taking those tickets, you have any idea why he may have taken, of all things, airline tickets? Would you really?
No, I don't have a clue. Whatever possessed you? Jason, come on, an airline ticket? What are you going to do with an airline ticket?
Just don't talk to me.
Don't, excuse me?
It's hard for you to say anything. Do you want me to say anything to Dad, maybe about what was on your mind with the ticket?
It's not going to help.
Well, I just want to know if it's okay with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. My sense is that Jason's very afraid that you're going to send him away.
Send Jason away? Where am I going to send Jason?
You're looking at him like he's just not telling you the truth, huh?
Where do you think I'm going to send you? Come on, Jason, talk to me.
It's not like you don't know.
I don't know. Where do you think I'm going to send you?
Boarding school?
Boarding school? Where did you get this idea that I was going to send you to boarding school?
The brochure in your room?
Brochure in my room. The brochure in my room? It's part of a marketing plan our company's working on.
Sure, Dad.
Oh, wait a minute. You know, rather than getting into whether Jason's right or not, I think maybe an important part here is whatever else goes on between you, and it doesn't sound great. I have a feeling Jason doesn't want to leave you. That's
Well,
surprising.
I don't want Jason to leave me. I mean, we've got our problems, but Jason's my son. I care about the kid. I just don't know what to do with him.
Okay. So maybe, even though things are going pretty badly,
Yeah, I'd say so.
maybe Dad does not want to get rid of you. But we got some real issues here. You getting suspended from school ain't your favorite thing to happen.
Nothing's ever your fault, is it, Jason?
No, it isn't.
Why don't you start taking some responsibility for your own actions?
So this is how it goes, huh? Okay, I'm going to put a timeout here on this piece because I don't think right now it's going to be helpful. I had told Jason and I told you that after 3 meetings, Jason would have a call on whether or not he wanted to see me anymore.
That's fine. I mean, those are Jason's options.
Okay, now you were real
Seem
clear
to be
with
doing some good here.
okay, you were real clear with me on the phone that you want to know what we're going to be working on.
Well,
You didn't
of
want to.
course. I mean, he's my son. I want to know what's going on.
Okay. Now, the way we've worked it out, as I get it, is Jason and I are going to set up some goals that have to do with getting his act together in school a little, maybe looking at changing the schedule around a little, right? I got this, and that in 5 weeks, I at least will get back to you. Jason, you know, you'll be here if you choose to be, with some feedback, and Jason's going to set some standards, like you can expect him to get at least this grade in science, this grade, so we'll have a goal. And that between now and then, okay, you will, I assume, lay off the swiping things, which sets Dad right off the Richter scale, right? Okay? And you'll not hassle him. You won't ask him every time about his test and his homework. You'll give him some room to figure this out. Then we'll meet in 5 weeks.
5 weeks from now.
5 weeks from now, when those interim reports come out, you know, that's halfway through the next quarter.
Right.
Okay? And see where things are at. Does that sound acceptable to you?
He's, I'm not going to agree that he, only if he brings his grades up. I mean, I'm not going to sell for D's and F's like in the past. I want Jason to do well. So if he wants,
Do you think Jason wants to do that?
sometimes I wonder, but this is something that we need, you know, we need to work on. So
Okay.
okay,
Maybe. Does that seem okay with you?
Yeah.
I'll back off. Try a little bit harder.
You know, I really think you know.
Cool. I mean, come on. I'm trying here.
Maybe you like to. All right. Now, who's going to be basically bringing you? Or are you going to take the bus that drops you off down by the plaza and walk over here? All right. You're going to take the bus here. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to pick him up, or is Mom's going to pick him up? How's that?
I'll swing by and pick him up.
Okay. You'll pick him up. Now, the other
If
piece
that's
is...
okay with him.
Is that
Is that all right?
It's fine.
All right.
I have a feeling I got a piece, which is that if you're going to pick him up, he doesn't get 20 questions from you in the car about what we talk about.
Fair enough.
Right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay? All right. Then I won't see you for 5 weeks. If something critical comes up, you can call me.
All right.
I've told Jason the way it goes is that if the school calls or you call or his mother calls, I will always tell him about it. No secrets. Right? Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. Sorry you had to wait. All right, kiddo. I'll see you, what, next Wednesday, 4?
Yeah.
What was your impression of or your feelings about the demonstration session?
It was a very close to accurate, with more than typical, with an adolescent boy with those kinds of issues of not meeting performance expectations, not in huge difficulties with the law, but kind of pushing at the edges, grades aren't good. So I would say it was very typical for that population that I work with.
What was typical and representative about the work that you did? Were there any parts that were atypical or unrepresentative of what you might usually do?
A number of things. One is keeping in mind that this is an adolescent who is really coming to see me because I'm a better deal than more suspension, and that I'm working to establish a little better credentials than that with the adolescent. So the snack, because most of the kids come after school, is a given. That these kids often either want something, either hungry, or they need something to do. So that he would come, have gone down to the snack room, gotten something to eat. That I would have on my table things that he can reach out and touch, that I don't have something glass, something that isn't available, that there's movement and room and space to be himself in the office, and that essentially the surroundings invite that there's a pillow for him to hang on to so that he can't be seen. So a lot of, even before we start talking, is to create an atmosphere that isn't reek of control, or isn't say that this is a space that is adult, not child, but more this is shared space and we're kind of in here together. So we start with that. Other things is that I will not allow a parent to come and control a session like that. The message I got from Jason was, you know, my dad's coming in here to talk to you. And that it was very important not to give Jason the message that I could not handle the environment such that Dad couldn't come marching in. I think Jason was expecting, because Dad wanted to be in here, he'd be in here. And that would be an automatic. But also making some room for Dad by modeling for Jason that I will make room, but it'll be at the end. And that he will be primary, Dad is secondary. So even if I had had something I could have said to Dad at the beginning, I still would have put it at the end for that reason. The setting of the goals with Jason. What does he want? What will help get Dad off his back? Both what does he want on the surface, which is to get Dad off his back, and then what does he want underneath, which is he really would like Dad to feel okay about him, proud of him, good of him. He's not wanting to be the flunky son or the son that isn't good enough. That's not his goal. And if I can help even touch on the edge of that possibility, of that desire in Jason, then I've let him know that I read it. Now, that may not occur till a session later on. I try to get to some piece of that by a third session so that we're not only connected with goals about specific behavioral pieces, but also some emotional goals, if I can do it. Other things that are typical is that I will very much talk about systems intervention. Nothing is going to happen by simply my seeing this kid once a week in an office. That's not what it's about. But what kinds of changes in the environment are going to help him? In this particular case, he needs some academic changes. He needs some changes in schedule. And I'm not going to do it all for him. He needs to do some checking out, let me know what he wants. I will help facilitate. So I'm establishing a team here. I'm not going to indulge him, but I am going to help him because he's right. Systems don't listen to kids very often. And that's why I do that piece about, yeah, you know, I have this doctor, can I go in there and at least get their attention? But I'm not going to decide for him what will work, because then I've set the agenda and I'm inviting more of the testing of, you're the adult. So we're trying to see together, what does he want, what might help? Can I set the stage, and together can we do some alterations in that system? Then I'm going to look at some of the other systems. What can we do with Dad? Dad's always asking me about his homework. He's, you know, basically he tells Dad, I did it, or I half did it, or I did it in school. Can I negotiate at least a piece of room? Now, I don't know that Dad will keep to what he said, but I at least laid out the possibility of, Dad, you take a different agenda. Jason, you take a different agenda now. That you're not going to have so much energy directed toward warding Dad off, but a little more energy directed on what do you really want to do here. So those are some very important to me specific goal setting, as well as setting of an ambience and of the kind of relationship I'll have with Jason and the kind of relationship I have with the parent.
On the basis of this session, what might you be planning to carry over or address in the next session?
That will vary greatly. I will try to keep a flow to the process, but when you're working with adolescents, anything can happen. So I'm not going to kind of set my mind. My major goal in the next session is that we've entered the next phase. I've won enough trust here. And then the next session, I might well stay very far away from all these adult agendas of, you know, I'm not going to bring up how you doing in math, how you doing. I mean, you really will probably start with, I want to know a little more about this kid. What is he like? What is he interested? What are his friendships like? So that I can be really trusted that I do want to know him as a person. And toward the end of the session, I'm going to be asking him, have you made any decisions about what you would like to do with the school piece? I don't want to jump into that. If he brings it up, I will. Now, I could get a call that he got suspended again, that he got thrown out, that he was caught smoking. I really have to be very prepared that anything might happen in between. Because he might still be wanting to see where... And I don't know that much about his relationship in that school. Keeping him in that math class with that teacher is not a good move. And I may well have thought about at least checking out with the school in this intervening week about changing that right away. So I want to build the relationship more. I'm not going to jump first for the adult agendas. I will get them in there. But I am very much going to stay open that I could have 3 phone calls. And for every hour, typically, as I say, you work with an adolescent, it's a 3-hour-a-week piece of potential collateral contact.
Okay. Thank you very much.